School of Calisthenics. This is going to be a 10-minute lower body mobility routine or warm-up routine that you can use potentially any time of the day when you just feel like you've been sat down too long and your hips are a bit tight and you need to loosen off, or as part of something you're going to do to try and improve your hip range of motion, or it might be as part of a warm-up for a lower body session that you're going to go on to do with your training. In terms of our approach to mobility, we are looking at trying to restore some postural control. We are looking at different ways and tools, and we're going to go through a few different variations of things that we're going to do here around whether we're using self-myofascial release, whether we're going to use static stretching. But in this one, we're going to look a lot more around moving in and out of positions and trying to maintain or make sure that we are using as much control and strength because of that control as we can as we work through the range that we currently have, and just trying to nudge that a little bit further. So work in the range that you've got, but just try and nudge it a little bit. Don't try and snap anything apart. Don't force it. When you force things, then you're actually not necessarily teaching the brain the right mechanism it's going to need to try to adapt and let go and release. So we're trying to loosen off and release by exploring slightly new ranges of motion with control, so we develop strength wherever it is that we're moving through. And when you have strength through those new ranges that we're going to create, that's when you get longer lasting changes in your range of motion and ultimately your mobility. So I hope that makes sense. And we're going to get started in a 4-point kneeling position, and we're just going to look at, I think, an exercise that's going to help massage the back of the hip. So in my 4-point kneeling position, I'm going to take my left knee and I'm going to take it over onto behind the right knee, and at that point I'm then going to be loose going into the back of that right hip. My job is to take as much weight, so I can almost lift that leg off the floor, as much weight going through this right hip as possible, and I'm just going to explore the corners of where it feels juicy and tight in here. So we can be tucking the pelvis underneath, we can be arching the back, so going through anterior and posterior tilts, as well as oscillating in and around that position, just for sort of 30 seconds, a minute or so, just what feels good. I'll swap over to show you what it looks like on the other side. So now I'm going to take all the weight onto my left knee, take the right knee over and cross it over, and then sit into that position. So I'm now just looking at getting the back of that hip mobilized, effectively using your femur, your thigh bone, to drive up into the back of that capsule and just in and out. Feel where it's tight for you. You might want a little bit of rotation, but feel where it feels tight. For me particularly, I'm getting right in the front / side of here. I'm just trying to encourage that guy to loosen off. Good. So then from there, you're going to bring one leg in front of us, and we're going to take that leg and bring it out to the side, and we're looking to come into, like in a yoga, it'd be like a pigeon pose, it would be called. And we're just going to look at initially just again exploring some motion, either coming chest down towards your toe, chest down towards your thigh, and just have a feel of what is good, coming up and trying to stay upright, dropping down to either side. I like to keep my hand on this foot to stop it from turning inwards, so I can keep that up there. And then now, just want you to go into your bottom position. Chest is going onto my thigh, and just try to relax into that shape. We're going to breathe through the nose, in and out through the nose, and you're going to breathe down into your belly. Try to relax, and when you relax, just try and let that hip sink. Good, and then we'll come over to the other side. Can you get your nose to touch your big toe? Can you get your head down onto the floor? Wherever you can get to, maybe you're here, wherever you can get to, just try to take a breath in through the nose. And out, and when you breathe out, relax, and just let that breath come from deep down. So you're trying to get your diaphragm to move Try to breathe, try to feel like I'm breathing into my hips, literally. Good. From there, swap sides. I'll show you front on for this one so you can see the different angle. So leg out to the side, take that one back behind you, and then I'm going to use this hand to keep that foot in front, and then we will come in and exploring forwards and down from either side. Just where it feels good for you. And thinking about that tall position, nice and upright, not slumped over to one side, nice and tall there. And then we're going to come down chest, can you get maybe get your head to the floor, bang, be careful, don't slam it down the floor. And then breathe into, literally try and breathe into your hips, get that diaphragm working downwards through the nose. And out through the nose, and try and just sink and relax. We're trying to get rid of tension rather than creating tension, so don't fight against it. Can you get your nose down to your big toe? Can you get your head down to the floor on this side? Maybe we're just here, it doesn't matter. Breathe in. Relax into the position, let it sink in. You can't fight tension with tension, so we're trying to relax into it. One more breath, deep into your hips. Get that diaphragm moving downwards. Nice. Cool. From there, swap back over onto the other side. We're going to, I'll show you on the side, you can see better. We're going to go from that position you're in, you're going to come up, have that leg behind you, knee down on the floor, hands either side of your foot, and so it comes up. It's going to look like here, hands either side of the foot. This foot's going to be at an angle, you're going to let that knee drive out to the side. And you're just going to now, slightly more active in this position, we're just going to oscillate in and out. You might want to encourage that knee out to the side. And again, you're going to feel it around the back and outside of that hip. And just try to feel what is going on in there, just loosening that guy off. I'll show you from the side. Knees down the floor, but we're just trying to loosen that guy off. You working in and out of that shape. From there, you can raise the back leg, and then you're going to have to create a bit more strength. So now working that sort of strength and control in these ranges that we're going into. Just oscillate in and around there. From there, bring the foot down flat, take the other hand and put it on the inside of the foot, and then we're going to rotate up and come back down. So I'll show you what that looks like front on. So we were here before, we're going to put that foot flat, we're going to put the hands on the inside, and then we're going to rotate up and out to the side. If you want to, you can have that back knee down, but if you feel like you've got the strength, keep that hip up, the knee, back knee up, but don't raise the hip up. Let the hip come down, but keep that back knee up. So we rotate up, and if you want to come down, can you take that elbow down towards that heel? A couple of reps of that before we then try and swap. You're going to put that hand down the floor. It's going to challenge your balance a little bit and range into that hip. And come back down. Swap sides. So the other leg comes forward. That knee is down on the floor to start with. Foot turned at the angle, and we're trying to encourage this now right knee out to the side. Just whatever feels good. You might even feel some of this on that back hip flexor as well. Just exploring in and out. When we can, if you feel like you can, raise that back knee up. So now a bit more weight going through, and you're having to work a little bit more of that control. I want you to just, you see how I'm just exploring where feels tight in that hip and in those glutes. Next, foot goes down flat, hand comes to the inside, back leg is straight if we can, or have it down to rest. But if you've got the strength, stay up. But remember, this hip down, and then we're going to rotate up. And then when we come down here, can we get that elbow down to the floor? Nice. And reach up. Then the other way, so hand on the inside, and we rotate. And back down. Good. From there we'll swap back to the other leg. I'm going to show you this one side on, so back to the same shape, hands either side of that front foot, and we're going to step back and come through. So now we're stretching a little bit through the hamstring. And to start with, I just want you to have your hands on the floor, but as we get a bit more confident, you're going to be able to raise them up, and then you might start to be able to do some reps where you never put the hands down. Your job is not to stand up, because as soon as you come out of that hip flexion, you're losing that stretch in the hamstring. So we're trying to come down, and you're trying to maintain that sensation of your abs or your stomach on that thigh, and think about keeping that chest up and stay nice and long with it. Good. Then we'll swap sides. So firstly, just go with hands on the floor. Feel the difference also between when you pull the toes up or if you leave the toes down. It's going to give you a different stretch because you're going to bring in the calf into play. Then if you feel good, can we start to do some with the hamstrings, without needing the hamstrings. The final one before we come up to standing then is going to be back to a 90-90 position. So I've got my right knee forward, it's in a 90 degree angle here, back leg back and a 90 degree at that hip. And then my job is to stay nice and upright as possible. Hips should start to feel a little bit loose now. And now I want to look a bit about when we go through these ranges, having some strength and control through these positions. See how we want to slump over to the side. You have to work extremely hard to stay upright as you move. So I'm picking the back leg up, really slowly making that glute work hard, bringing it to meet the other foot, trying not to slump over, trying to stay tight and high. Rotate, turn the foot up to the outside, create an internal rotation of the hip. You can take that back and put it down. And we're trying to do one more rep. We're trying to not let the foot touch the floor at all, and that's you trying to create some internal rotation. So that would be external rotation of the femur. When you take the foot to the outside, that's internal rotation of the femur. And then if you can create that, you're going to find that your foot isn't going to touch the floor until you put the knee down. Other one, then we're going to look at the front leg, is you're going to bring that front leg up, you're going to bring it around, you can put it down on the floor in front of you, and then you're going to bring it back. So just a few reps like that to start with. And then what you're going to try and do is the same thing. So now, if I bring that foot up, I'm trying to create relative external rotation at the femur, and I'm trying to lift, and rather than slide on the floor, I'm going to try and not let it touch the floor. For you, it might be that you just sort of cut to about here, and you have to put it down, or you come back. That's fine. What you're trying to do is work with strength and control through the ranges that you've got. So the more control and the slower we can make this movement, the better, because you are generating that strength through these ranges that we've just been trying to encourage the body into. So we'll swap sides. So trying to stay upright, bring, ooh, this hip feels tighter than the other one. And you see that, how I then want to slump over to the side. Good, but the foot doesn't touch the floor, just the knee. There we go. Touch, slow and controlled. And try to keep just the knee touches down. Stay more upright, Jacko. Ooh, you're feeling this hip. Foot height, just the knee to touch down. Good. Then we look at that front leg. Might show you this one from this angle. So front leg, I'm going to raise up, I'm going to bring out, put it down in front of me, raise up, put down. Move them with control and try to, as high as we can, through this position. And again, we're trying to get the knee to come down rather than the foot. We want the foot coming up higher than the knee, or as much, that's the intent, as much as we can. Because that's us actively now creating that external rotation that we were trying to work through and encourage before. Woo. There we go. Last one for you is we're going to revisit that lunge position where we were out here, but now we're going to come back and straighten that leg like we've done with that hamstring. But I just want you to nudge that leg a little bit further forward, and then our job is to try and keep that one straight, and then we're going to try to raise up off the floor. So working to load this hip flexor on the back side, the back leg, as in your back side. Then the other one I want you to look at is come round and touch your heel, and then can we come round and touch the heel on the other side. Again, explore that up and down, touch the heel, and then you'll get more, really feel it through that front hip flexor, TFL, open up and reach as well. You're going to get a little bit of psoas. Ooh, that feels nice through there. And if we really want to up it, you come up, you come down, and can we touch whilst having that back knee off the floor? That's a naughty one. You might be losing your back. You might want something to hold on to a little bit for your balance. We'll swap legs, it's the last one. Should really feel it on that hip flexor. So, front foot, front leg straight, back feet tucked, and then we're going to come up and down. Up and down. Use your hands for some balance on something if you need to, like I could hold onto the wall here to make it a little bit easier if I wanted to. But ultimately, controlling down. The first rep I did the other leg, I almost like fell down. I need to have that control, so I'm working this back, hip flexor, under load, controlling that eccentric on the way down. Boom, feeling that stretch at the same time. So not only is he stretching, we're strengthening him. Then, can we come, rotate around, touch the back foot with the same hand, and then rotate and go the other way around. Feel that stretch there. Nice. One more back up. Control down. Reach. Other side. There's that foot. Reach. And the grand finale, if you fancy it, use your hands on something for a bit of balance if you need to. Can we come round and touch? Oh. With the leg. Up. Ooh, you'll feel that as a decent challenge to finish off with, but hopefully you see we've built that up gradually, going from just loosening off, just trying to massage that hip capture a little bit where we were on our knees, then looking to explore some new ranges, but just encouraging that gradually with some support from ourselves and our hands, etc. And then starting to then gradually look at how do we release that tension, a little bit of breath work, but release that tension and then get that new range, and then take the hip through some positions, whether we're going in and out flexion extension, whether we're rotating internal external, we're taking it, fighting just gravity with the weight of our legs through some of those positions that we've been trying to encourage more range at. By us actively doing that, we are starting to build some strength through those ranges that we're going to, telling the brain, You need to be strong and be able to control these new positions that I've created range in, and therefore it goes, okay, Jacko, well, if you're giving me the ability to be strong there or developing my strength there, I'm happy for you to have that new range, rather than just stretching, not having strength in those end ranges, and then the brain going, well, if you're not going to use that, or let me be strong there, I'm just going to wind that back when we come tomorrow. So this is helping to, and hopefully helping to improve or increase range or restore some range that we may have lost from days of sitting or whatever, but then also adding that control and strength through those ranges that you're doing. So as that warm-up routine or mobility routine has developed, hopefully you see that we were just loosening off and relaxing, then we're starting to work through some ranges, then we're starting to layer on top you moving through that range unassisted, and having to develop your own strength. It's not strength like being super strong like for pull-ups or bench press or anything like that. It's just that end range strength effectively, and having control coming in and out of those positions. That's something that we can do as regularly, effectively as we want to, and what feels good. Didn't necessarily count reps and sets in there. I sort of guesstimated would be about 10 minutes. Hopefully I wasn't too far off. But yeah, you've just got some options there to explore in and out of those. Once you make those movements familiar, you could also just sort of link them all together on one leg, and then swap and link them all together on the other leg, and add in little bits and little variants on top of that as you so wish, and feel that you have the ability to spend more time in one, or the license, the freedom to spend more time in one position or another position because it feels better, or just exploring something else, just a little corner of a movement, if it feels like on that particular day for you it was feeling particularly tight. So I hope that's been useful. I've been Jacko, you've been amazing and probably slightly more mobile now, and so thank you for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed on our YouTube channel, make sure you do subscribe. We've got videos going live every morning during lockdown at 11 AM UK time, British summer time now, and then we've got a whole host of videos on our YouTube channel that you can look back and watch. Some of them are follow-on videos, some of them are tutorials. We've also got a full program that we've made free, bodyweight basics. We've made that free during lockdown so that you can train at home with bodyweight and just build up that foundation strength that you need to do with your bodyweight training. But then also, if you want to do some cool things like handstands, human flags and muscle ups, etc., it lays the bedrock of foundation strength for that as well. So thank you for watching. Until next time, class dismissed.